Hi, and welcome to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast. My guest this week is Anish Patel. And the reason why I wanted to get Anish onto the podcast is that Anish is a content creation machine who is relentless with his videos. And as a mortgage broker, I've talked before about struggling with creating content and what content looks like and over editing and sort of really polished videos and stuff like that. Whereas Anish is sort of like the total end of the spectrum with that. He's very much raw. He creates raw content, very educational content for his clients. He's built a great brand. He's like got his Facebook, his Insta, his YouTube. He's got his YouTube channel and things like that as well. So in terms of I talk a lot about the video and video content, getting personality across, building clients, trust with clients who maybe aren't your clients today, but could be clients in the future, and building your own brand and building rapport with those people that are watching your content. So that's why I wanted to get Anish onto the podcast. So grateful that he agreed to come to the podcast. And yeah, here goes. So welcome to the podcast, Anisha. How are you?
I'm good, Craig. How are you doing yourself?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, mate. Very good. So yeah, no, thanks ever so much for joining the podcast. Thanks very much for agreeing to being on the podcast. I think what you do, obviously we're going to get into the podcast and talk about you and your background, but really we wanted to focus on the videos because you are video content king. It's fair to say when I look at your, I don't think I'm doing you a disservice there.
Very kind.
Yeah. No, you are an issue. Like they look at, I'm looking at your LinkedIn, I look at your Insta, your YouTube channel, your Facebook, you have your website as well. So you have got plenty of content out there in the world of mortgages. So your videos are very educational, helping clients answering questions and things like that. And that's really what I want to talk a lot about because I do bang on a lot about that, particularly the advising the firm that work in my firm. We talk a lot about the videos, and I always put you in a shining light of check out Anish, look at what he's doing, and mate. So yeah,
mate,
it's all good. That. So no worries. So first of all, do you want to, for those people that don't know who you are, do you want to introduce yourself and give a little bit of a background before you had your own firm?
Yeah. So to be honest, before I had my own firm, obviously first I'm Anish Patel, as you guys know. Before I had my own firm, I used to work for a mortgage advisor. So he used to submit like 50 applications a month. And I did all the admin, processing, even did a bit of research. I think I can say that for compliance reasons. But yeah, I did everything for him. Like he was in the pub every day. I used to look out the window and I was like, you know what? Not barring the pub bit, I was like, you know what? I need to be him, basically. But I learned everything, my trade, for like a good 4 years, working underneath an advisor, doing everything from start to finish, like literally T-boy upwards, sorry. And That's just made me the advisor I am today, mate.
Good. That'll probably give you good grounding, to be fair, in terms of understanding how annoying lenders can be, how annoying people are, like kind of thing, and like the ups and downs have been. You've got like a good, like I say, good education, good schooling of the downside of and the worst part of the job, which is all the admin and the progressing and stuff like that.
100%, mate. Like one thing I learned is like packaging the case. So that's what I learned throughout the years because I learned through his mistakes, so to speak. But doing all the groundwork and the hard work, that's why, to be honest, I find mortgages really easy now because I know how the admin side works of it because it's all about packaging it, right? You've got to paint that story for the person reading on the other side.
Definitely. No, and you're absolutely right. I think the lender's gone enough about packaging it right and making sure it looks right from the start. So, no, good. Like that is good grounding. So then when did you sort of have that sort of spark about setting your own firm up, or did you always have that spark about having your own firm?
So, like in a quick nutshell, I've always knew I was going to be self-employed, right? Even when I was working for this other broker, I didn't go employed because the goal was always to go self-employed. Because the truth is, I saw all the other advisors looking at the commissions, etc., that they were making. I was like, you know what? I want that to be me. So I was like, I don't want to get tied in with anyone. So I always stayed on a self-employed basis. And then I was just self-employed within that firm. And then I went to another firm, which I was self-employed under. And then July last year, I just thought, you know what, I want to set up my own brand, do things my way, because social media was like a big thing. And the people that I was with, they were more established than me. And they had their client bank. And the truth is, they weren't as hungry as I guess as I was in terms of, because they already had their existing revenue coming in, and we just parted ways. And to be honest, none of my clients know any different anyway. Like Anish Mortgage is something for me. All my clients buy into me as a person. So Anish Patel is who they come to for years and years still.
No, well, exactly. And that the thing when you look back to like July last year, that's pretty scary time with a lot of things going
Yeah.
on in the world. Of you sort of, so is that what you did? Like literally step out from, you were self-employed anyway, I get that, but you're stepping out from some security of being self-employed, but in a firm. I'm guessing lead generation was okay and stuff like that. And you're then sort of middle of the pandemic and the sort of the instability at that time, you decide to set your own firm up. So fair play.
Like, to be honest, Craig, I never got dealt any leads at any of the firms I was with. It wasn't like one of those where they gave me leads. I was literally grafted it on my own from day one. I did get a few leads, that's a lie, but nothing like major life changing, if that makes sense. So yeah. I guess I was just sitting there. It's not really made any difference. It just helped me more in terms of I can just move the business now the way I want it to go.
Well, you can make your own decisions, your own choices. Yeah. You've got the freedom, and we're going to talk about your brand and your content, absolutely, and things like that. And that's what you've done over the past 12, 18 months, really, haven't you? So
pretty much.
Does it seem like that? Does it just seem like you started out doing this in July last year, Anish, or does it feel like a lot longer than that?
It feels a lot longer, to be honest, because like now it's like in my blood to do content. I love it. Like I can't, like people say, oh, I don't know what to like talk about. I've got like literally, I could tell you about 4 months content I've already got planned in terms of my shorts that I do on Instagram. But then I've got other stuff in the background that I'm still working on. So I just love it.
Fine. I think that is a thing. What I can sort of see with your content is, and it's things I've talked about on the podcast in the past, is mortgage brokers tend to struggle with content and content creation because, for whatever reason, mortgage brokers don't tend to be creative. And I don't know whether that's from a bank. Like my background was, and I'm not good on creation. I'm not good on creating content. I've learned to grow and learn how to develop my content and how to create it. But fundamentally, it's not something that, whereas you love it and you clearly love it, it's slightly different for me. Something that I like. It's something I do and I enjoy doing it, don't get me wrong, but I struggle with that sort of creation side of things. And I don't know whether that's become from my banking background or my large corporate background in mortgage services. And that's the same for a lot of brokers because they tend to find that they'll move from banking to estate agency to self-employed, whereas so then you get the shackles on, whereas you haven't really had that schooling, have you really? You've not had that beaten down, you can't do that. And no. Ash and I, like you work with Ash and you know Ash, and as we're both clients of Ash and good friends of Ash. And I think like he talks, like that's one thing why he left mortgage broking in the large corporate world was because he just got hammered down with you can't create content. Well, you've not had that, I'm guessing.
I've not had that at all, to be honest. I did have it at the old DA firm when I started doing a little bit. They were a bit apprehensive. So that was one of the main reasons why I left. But a lot of the stuff that I talk about, it's not even like advice. If you look at my Instagram page or my YouTube, it's just tips. I'm not saying this is the best interest rate. You should do this. You can get this. It's literally like, why has my credit score gone down by 20 points? Here's one reason. It's just generic stuff. And I just find it like simple things like that help people,
Definitely. No, and that's the thing with it. And it's you're not, there's no call to action. You're not forcing it. It is about, you're not telling somebody what they should be doing. It's just sort of, you're answering the questions that customers from a mortgage point of view will have in the back of their mind, or might be at the forefront of their mind thinking, well, why has that gone down? Or what is that? Or why is that? So that's what you're doing, is just sort of creating answers and answering the questions that people have. So was video always the thing that you wanted to do when you first start thinking you've got when you're thinking that about, I'm just trying to think from a process point of view and trying to explain what you went through at that time. You're working for a firm, you're self-employed with the DA, you're not getting in the leads, you want your own brand. did you think what came first? Was it the knowing that you wanted your own brand, or did you sort of look at creating your own brand, or did you have a brand name that was the first? What was the sort of process and your thinking that you went through at that time?
In all honesty, it was more creating more leads for myself, right? So I saw the social media side thing that create organic leads where I don't have to pay away potential to any accountants who are referrals. The brand name came from my wife, which she had for years to this. So I can't even take any credit for that. If I did, she literally won't make my dinner tonight. So I have to give her credit there. But yeah, it's just like it all just fit into place. Like the social media thing, as soon as I realized they went with it, I just went looking myself. I was like, you know what? I'm one of those people that if I don't get what I want, I'll find a way to get it. You know, I'm not just going to sit there thinking like, you know, like not generically speaking, but a lot of brokers in the industry, like, oh, I'm not getting leads. You know, well, you've got to do something about it. Don't just sit on. Well, I don't even know if I can say this word. Like, don't just sit on your bum and think
No,
like
you can.
something's just
There you go. It's fine.
yeah, like, don't sit on your ass and think something's going to be handed to you on a plate. You know, like everyone wants something, but you got to work for it. And it's like I was having this conversation with Ash the other day. Actually, like people think that they can just go to Ash and they'll fix the problem, right? But that's not how it works. Like Ash can guide you, but the grind is down to you. Like people don't see like the amount, probably even yourself, like you know what you do, the amount of hours that goes into creating these YouTube videos that I've got going now, creating these like Insta posts and putting them on more platforms. Like it's like relentless, you know, like you got to have that like drive where, you know, like you just got to keep plowing through, even when like the views are crap, you know, like people are like, oh, I've only got 20 views. Doesn't matter, you know, because no one likes everything that they see anyway. But you just got to have that like that fire, you know, like you got to want it hard enough to basically get it, because a coach is a coach, but you've got to put the work in yourself. And that's one thing, like Ash will agree. I am relentless in my quest to, like, I want to be the best. That's the truth. Yeah. And I don't know what the best means in this industry, but I'm not going to stop ever. Put it that way.
No, it's a great point and a great analogy in terms of like, I don't know if there is a best in the mortgage broker, mortgage advisor world. What is, I think you do struggle to define exactly what is the best, because people's best, what you would say is best is different to mine, different to be like, there is no sort of like, there is no greatness. There is no sort of, to be the best Formula One driver, you based on you got you generally it's like there is goals to achieve. Whereas with this, it's like it could be a case of people will have income, people have lifestyle, people have various things that they want to achieve, but there is no best. Because I think the one thing is an issue is that you're not, like, I go on about responsibility, which clearly you have got that, and we'll talk a little bit about that, because you're absolutely right. A coach is a coach. A coach doesn't fix the problem. They're just helping you to and guiding you through and you've got to fix that problem yourself. So, and it's just puts a big smile on my face that you talk about responsibility and relentlessness and things like that, because you will be, I'm getting the picture that if I was your client, I would get the relentlessness from you as well in terms of my client. You wouldn't just sort of fall at the first hurdle and go, right, well, you don't fit the mainstream. Let's look at what's the next process, what's the next lender, that's the next lender. If you're a relentless person, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're a relentless person, whether it's trying to in and work, out work, whether you're creating your own content, whether you're trying to find solutions for your clients and things like that as well. Because that's the thing is, you're not coming across as a lazy person, and that's one thing that I struggle with as mortgage brokers is the laziness of mortgage broking, because there are far too many lazy mortgage brokers out there, and I sort of see it a lot where, and you'll get it where you'll be, oh, I've gone to, you're the third broker I've spoken to, and you finally got me the mortgage, and the other two, because they couldn't be bothered. Like you used the word already, so I can say it now. They couldn't be asked. It was a CBA like kind of moment. They can't. Whereas, so if you've got that relentlessness from a educational point of view, then you'll have that from your client's point of view as well. And I think one thing that you said there is, it's not about the follows, is it? It's not about the likes. It's not about the clicks. It's not about, you don't do it for that.
No, not at all. not at all. The main thing is like to educate people, right? Like in terms of, I'm looking at everything now, the way I release content. How would I buy into it? Because one thing I realize is I'm my ideal client. So I've never like, Craig, I know you wear a shirt and everything. You're old school, right? But I've never wore a
I know,
shirt,
yeah,
tie,
absolutely.
nothing. Do you
No,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like
I always
I used
will.
to go to meetings and I used to just wear a jumper and jeans because I was like, this is just who I am. Like end of the day, you want the deal, I can do it for you and I can deliver. And all my life, like I've never worn like a suit to a meeting because it's just not me. Now, the proper thing, what's happening now is because of my social media content, the way I'm coming across on this podcast is the way I speak to my friends, is the way I speak to my clients, is the way I speak on my social media. I get so many leads, right? That people come to me like booking meetings, go, "Oh, you just sound like your social media." I was like, "Yeah, because this is just who I am," you know. So
Yeah, I've lost your camera, mate. I think, to be fair, let's just make a note of that. I think have you? Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
happened. So yeah, like, shall I start?
No, no,
Yeah,
yeah, no, continue, mate. I can honestly just continue. No, because that was passionate. So
perfect.
don't worry. Go on, keep going.
Yeah, mate. So
Keep
she's
going.
like, "This is who I am," right? In terms of everything that I have now is me. Like I'm not like one of these guys that sits in front of the camera. And I did try it, and I looked like an absolute twat, right? I tried doing videos that all the other brokers were doing, right? I had the fancy thumbnail, I had the fancy lighting, everything was just fancy, right? And then I was looking at it, I was like, she's like, "You look like an absolute idiot. What are you doing?" And all my new content now, the amount of people that go, "You know what? I love it." Like I took a video at Peppa Pig World when I was with my daughter, just like with Peppa Pig in the back of me. It wasn't Peppa Pig or one of the cartoons, right? People love that because they're like, "Oh, he's gone Peppa Pig World. He's taking a video." Like it's mad. So it's good that I'm finally coming across the way I want to come across, but I'm also attracting my ideal client who doesn't expect me to wear a suit. It doesn't expect me to talk
Yeah.
in a certain manner. And like, for example, I had a first time buyer event recently, right? An online one, because that's what I'm trying to build, an online brand. And
Hmm.
I sold out 85 tickets within 3 weeks. So on the last week,
Wow.
there was nothing there. And a lot of these people, right, follow me on Instagram, have never, or all platforms, have never ever commented on anything. But then after that event, that they reached out to me and the engagement started happening. So it just shows you the power of social media where people will not like a thing, will not comment on anything, but when they join these live events and stuff, like they reach out. So there is people watching your stuff, even if you think there's no one watching it.
No, absolutely. I think the thing is with it as well, Anish, is that you very much, it's your personality. It's you. There is no hidden agenda with you.
No.
You are who you are. Whether that's sort of like say you're out with your mates, or whether you're recording a video, or you're in a first appointment with a client, or signing some like doing a presentation meeting, wherever that is, you are who you are, and that's why I
Yeah.
absolutely love, because that's people buy into that personality. They don't want some sort of charade with jazz hands and all the rest of it. And then so
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
see you on a video like doing this, and then they come to a meeting and you're sort of totally different. Well, people don't. People come to you because they see who you are. They build trust with that person, and then if you come across in a first appointment from the start totally different, they'd be sort of like, "Who's this guy? Like, this is
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
guy that I booked an appointment with. This is not a guy who I follow on Insta or YouTube or whatever the case may be." And I've seen doing that. That's not the guy. So you've built these barriers up of who you are, and then you do it. You're breaking them down again because you're coming across in a way which you're absolutely 100% right. You shouldn't do that. Like I am who I am. There's no hairs or graces, there's no both. Like I'm the same with my friends, my family, as I am doing doing the videos, or doing. There is no like, yeah, I don't wear a shirt all the time, but I do when I'm. That's just old school,
If
like you
that's
say,
you,
and
that's
it's just
you.
how
Like
I
in
am.
terms, yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
exactly, mate. Like,
That will never change. Because like for me, when I go to work, it's like having I did a video recently about having an office. Like, so when I go to the office, like I've got an office. I used to be based at home. I've got an office now. Quite a few advisors that I know of work from home and do very, very well at home, and I have no issue with that. It's just my mind. The way that I work is I would prefer to go to an office, put a shirt on, and then I'm in work mode. Work mode. Get home, shirts off, kind of thing, and then that's just a different. Like that's just the process that
yeah,
I go through day in day out. So it's just whatever works for you. Whereas for you, it is your personality. You've got like what was videos? Was it always like you say? Was it always videos then, or did you think I just needed to post something, or was it just getting your personality across important to you in whatever format it was?
So initially, right, I'll just take it back a bit. Like when I first started, I tried writing written stuff, right? And the truth is, Craig, I'm good at mortgages. I'm smart at mortgages, right? But I wasn't the smartest at school. So when it comes to like writing things, I actually write the way I speak. So if I read it back, I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? Right. And then it was just like those written posts were taking me hours just to write like a paragraph, right? To make me write it in a way that I thought someone else wants to hear it. And then I was just like, you know what? Like someone who helped me massively when I first joined HLP was Thomas Honor, and I did Facebook Lives. And from there, I was quite natural at them. And then I started thinking, you know what, video is better. And then I started doing videos how all the other brokers want to do fancy videos. And that's the truth, right? I've not seen anyone that just does raw edited videos, not unedited videos like myself. I was like, you know what? And Ash goes to me, goes, mate, just make shit content, yeah. And what that means is just do straight up, unfiltered content straight from your mobile. I have no sort of a tripod. I have no lighting anymore. I'll take a video when it's crap lighting. I'll go outside when it's windy. Whenever I get a chance to a video, I'll just get it done. And that has actually been received a lot better than all these fancy videos, because now I actually stand out in terms of people see my videos like, oh, 1 minute, it's that guy. Not I've got the fancy thumbnail and then the music comes in. So it's a bit unique, I think. Like I don't see anyone else doing it right now in the industry, and especially at the volume that I'm doing. Like I'm, as I said, relentless. I post at least 5 times a week. The reason why I don't do weekends, it's just mad with my daughter. So you know what, I was like, give it a break on the weekends. But 5 times a week minimum, I'll post, and I find it that people just find it hard to keep up. You know.
So what do you just shoot? What is it you shoot on then? Just your mobile phone? Is that what you do? Like,
mate, I've got this iPhone, right, which is
okay.
a downgrade from my wife. So every time I buy a new phone, so I'll buy it outright. I have to give my wife the new one, and I got hers. Literally, I just go like this and go, yeah, blah blah blah. Speak to myself, shoot the video, and then now I'm so good at it. Everything from my phone, I can post on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram Reels. There's this app called Nextdoor, on all 5 platforms, and YouTube. Within 15 minutes, I can record a video and post it on all platforms.
That
So
just
I'm like a
proves that you
machine.
don't know. No, you are, Anish, and that's the thing is like that. It just proves that you don't need all the gear. And yes, I've got this nice, like I've got a nice mic and the rest of it and all the rest of it going on. But it just proves that you don't need all the gear to then just shoot. And you don't edit them; they just literally raw as you're out there.
No editing whatsoever.
Wow,
So
fair play
just
then.
straight,
Absolute fair play.
straight. And like the new stuff that I've got now is called it's like a show and tell thing that I've going to actually posted the first video today on LinkedIn. But this is what I do in actual meetings, right? So a lot of brokers, right? I'm not saying everyone, but for me, when clients come to me, I don't hide mortgage lenders. I show them the affordability calculators, because for me, it's just like, look, you've come to me because you want the service. You've obviously been referred, or you've seen my stuff. You know, I'm the man to get your job done. Here we go, right? So a lot of my like client meetings are over Zoom. So because I've been doing it such a long time, I know straight away which lenders to go to, right? So what I do is I'll share the screen with them, flip it, and go, look, here's your lender's affordabilities calculators. Show them like 3 different lenders and go, this is how much you can roughly borrow. And then all of a sudden, oh, why did you show me that? I was like, well, if you want me to get the deal done and you want to get your home, fine, use me. If you don't, good luck. I never force anyone to use me. And these new videos now I've got coming out called Show and Tell. So literally it's me speaking like this, and it's just off my laptop, and it's just recording me speaking, but going through like lenders' affordability calculators and showing you like how much you can borrow roughly with a 90% mortgage, 85% mortgage with one particular lender, right? But
Okay.
It's just the same like this, like show and tell, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. No, that goes back to the educational thing, but it goes back to the buy-in from your clients for you and your personality and the rest of it. Because like mortgage brokers sometimes get, this is not all of them, but they get based up by that bigged up by jargon. They make themselves feel important by the jargon, all the stuff
Yeah,
that goes
yeah,
on behind the scenes, and try and baffle clients with science. When actually, his clients want to see the rawness. They want to see that. Well, what do you do? How do you do that? And what difference does that make? So, like you say, the calculators, and these are the three different. Looking at three different lenses, and like the difference they'll see from a wow, that's like they'll lend me this, they'll lend me that. Wow, why will they lend me sort of
yeah.
30 grand more than that kind of thing? And that's you're just showing what you do and how you do it and why you do it, kind of thing, which is amazing. That is, which
And
is
they love it,
obviously
to be
getting.
honest.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm guessing clients buy into that and really sort of build trust with them around that.
Yeah, do you know what it is? Because like obviously I get a lot of clients that my fee is higher than someone else that they're talking to. Because 99% of the time, unless it's like a direct referral, people are always speaking. I do the same, you know, like if I was looking for like recently I was looking for a new car, I got a couple of quotes from leasing companies. So I don't just look at the first deal, but then I actually went with the guy because as a broker, you know, the service was a lot better, and I like he was on it with me. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went with him, but it was just upfront. Everything was legit, and a lot of people come to me, and because I just show them these things, I show them the affordability calculators. I even send them illustrations. Go look, HSBC, NatWest, whatever it is, and then the other brokers will send them an email going 2 year fixed rate, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, look, I won't hide it from you. And then they just want to use me even more, which is great, you know. Like, I'm never going to complain, but I'm just one of those people. Like it's just no nonsense. Like if you want to use me, please use me, and I'll make sure I get your deal done. If you don't want to use me, I will never wish you bad luck. I just wish you get the home that you want.
I think it goes back to what you were saying there about you never will be the cheapest. Mortgage brokers who charge a fee will never be the cheapest on the block, because there's brokers out there that don't charge a fee. And I've
Mm.
gone enough about why you should charge a fee, and you firmly believe in that because your service you're providing for your clients, you stick by your fee. That's your
Yeah,
fee. That's what you charge, and that's what the service you provide. And going back, like with things like cars and products and things like, well, there's not really like buying a car. Like, well, the car's the car. Like, it will
yeah,
do whatever vehicle you're going for. It's the same. Whereas from a mortgage broker, the experience and the service you're going to receive from one broker to the other is vast. So you do deliver on service. You do deliver. Do you collect reviews anywhere, Anish? Is that something you do or not?
recently, to be honest, I've started doing Google reviews, but that's luckily because basically my cousin is like one of my best mates now. Actually, he's come to work with me, so he does like all the new
Right,
business processing, but he's really with it with like Google and stuff like that. So stuff that I
right.
never had time for. He's just young and he's hungry. He wants to be a broker as well. So you know, I'm trying to help him, but he's good at like he set the Google account up to get the reviews. This is all stuff that I always wanted to do. So I've started doing it now. So we've started slowly getting Google reviews. But really, yeah, for years I've been doing it. I never used to do anything, and now like we're on it a lot more, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're trying to get all the reviews going and things like that.
No, which I think it does help. But like for you, if your focus is content, how much time do you spend? Well, I'll rephrase this. How much did you spend time at the start when you first started doing the videos? How much time did you spend doing them to then how much time you spend now doing them?
Oh God, it was so bad. You know, like you know when I first started, right? Like the videos, I like the way I speak now is that everything's off the cusp, nothing's rehearsed, right? But I used to like every Thursday or every 2 weeks Thursday, I used to like because I live in a flat right now, right? So I had to take the table in the middle of the room, put and I used to literally record it off my laptop and then have things going. And I was like mad. And then it's like half an afternoon went, and sometimes I recorded like 6, 7 videos, and then I would send them to someone else to get them edited, and I was paying for that. And now like that used to take me half an afternoon, right? Every 2 weeks, in about 3 hours, I could record easily 12 videos, right? Which wasn't that bad, but it was more. I got to start getting annoyed, right, in waiting for people to deliver to me. So the way my
Right.
pace is, like I'm fast, right, and then I'm sending these videos to get edited, and I'm like, send me these videos back. I want everything done in a timely manner so that I can schedule them if I needed to, and it just wasn't happening. And then I sort of went with Ash at this point, and he was like, mate, just do the videos yourself, just put your face on it. And that's when I realized, like, if you look at my Instagram page, which is probably the best thing, like, you just scroll through it, it's just my ugly face all over it. You know, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just the best thing I've ever did in my life. You know, like, just put my face to everything. So, like, my logo, like, I don't even put like my company logo in my like Instagram or Facebook.
No, you don't. No,
Just put
no.
myself on there, and literally it's got the same logo on all platforms. Seems to work, to be honest. So, touch
Well, they
wood.
see you. There's no hiding the fact that of who you are. There's no fancy intro video or anything like that
Nah,
going
nothing.
on. You are, it is you like that, and that's the. I think that's what the rawness that is there. That like it's clear to see that it is just you. You're passionate about what you do. You might have a few professional photographs done because there's a few nice ones on your website
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
like looking at you.
I've got to make myself look pretty, Craig. Like, it's not just going to happen like in a raw photo. Sometimes I do understand a little bit of filtering is needed. You know.
You're doing yourself a disservice there, mate. You do look good in the videos. You do look
Oh,
good
thanks.
in the website. So yeah, but it's just you. Like you say, the what you're wearing, your setup, it's just consistent brand every single time. I think, and
Mm.
that's the thing. Like it's the same with me. Like it's always like something like it's always. I always do the podcast with the videos with shirts and things. Like that's just who I am. That's just
Yeah,
how it
yeah,
is. The same with you. And if I all of a sudden I think I did a video where I just got like a top on, like a just casual top on, and like people were commenting on that, going, "I'm like, why have you changed your thing?" And like you just don't realize those little things have such an impact. Because if you start doing a video in a shirt, tie, and a suit on, people
oh,
go,
mate.
"Whoa, like, what the hell's going on here?" Like
Who
what?
is this guy? He's been brainwashed or something.
Exactly. He's put his corporate image back
Yeah,
on, and
yeah.
yeah, exactly. I know, but when you sort of look at because the one thing I wanted to we looked at the videos and like what you're doing. Do you find that sort of creation just comes easy to you? Because I think that's sort of when you look at all the content and doing that, people you're sort of saying, "Oh, I could do 12 videos in a few hours," and that people are probably thinking, "Oh my god, like what? How did like how can you create so much content in that particular time?" Just do you find it just comes natural to you, Anish, when you're looking at that?
It's, I guess, like, I've always been like a talkative, not talkative guy, but like, I find it easy to speak than write. So yes, it's natural, but they're not edited, which is a difference. If I
Yeah.
was editing every single video, no, that I wouldn't get 12 done. You know, like if you look at the YouTube video today, I must have said like made a mistake, and then I just like, I can't be asked. I'm just gonna get it out there because my thing is like volume, right? You make a mistake, we're human. Like it is what it is, like everyone's human, and no one's ever gonna say everything accurate 100% of the time. It just shows that you are human and you make mistakes. But who's got perfect English in this world? No one,
No,
So,
no,
well, maybe someone, but not. I don't know them. So,
no.
you
And
know
they're
what I
not
mean?
creating
Like,
videos. They're not creating unedited videos in perfect
yeah,
English, mate. So don't worry about that.
yeah, exactly. So, like, even like my new show and tell ones, I will just do it in one take. They're max like 2 minutes. Because my thing is like when I started working with Ash, I was like, Ash, I can't. If I see a video which is 11 minutes, right? I wouldn't even scrolling it. So like I'm a proper gym goer, right? So I was following like Athlean X and this Scott Herman, but they talk so much before they even get to like how the workout is done. I was like, I can't stand this, yeah. So I started following these random people, probably just doing like literally they go, how do you do a tricep extension? Bang, press on the video, done. That's what I want. I've not got time to like listen to a load of jargon before I go into it. And that's another thing. Like I speak in very simple terms. So like, like regarding porting, I explain it like a mobile phone contract to clients, like you can move it from one provider to another. I don't say porting your mortgage, if that makes sense. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
everything is like in realistic terms that you or the normal sort of client would understand because everyone's got a mobile phone, so
yeah.
they would understand things like that.
Yeah,
So to
exactly.
make
They
it easy.
relate to that. They understand that, and like you say, you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it into. You're not sort of baffling them with science again of them or what porting means, and going through that is literally explaining it into something that they would understand. So definitely, because I think I know when I sort of first shooting videos, I was overcritical of myself. I was literally editing the minute, and like I was the same. Like it would take me hours
mm,
to edit something, and you're just thinking. Whereas I think it's just about doing it. And like for you, it's clearly about the do. It is about the like
Get
you're
done.
just doing it, unedited, get it done. And but you've obviously, because of the volume you've done, the more you've done, the more you do, the better you get at it, the mistakes you made, the better you get. You just got out there and done it, which fair play, you have been brave. And I think a lot of brokers can talk a lot about it, but there's no do around it. Oh yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, but I'm busy this week with these clients. I'm busy. When you're creating your content, is it like, do you schedule it in terms of your time you're doing, or is it just literally off the cuff whenever you think, oh, I need to do a video on that, you go outside with your phone and record it? Or is there certain times, days, weeks and stuff like that you record?
No, so like my daily videos that I do on Instagram, right, or on all platforms, I do them first thing in the morning. So like my routine, not that anyone cares, I guess, but it's like I'll go gym in the morning, 7 o'clock, come home for 8, got to get my daughter to nursery by 8:30 so she doesn't miss breakfast or my wife's going to kill me. Get home, shower up, change. I don't have an office, so to speak, but today I'm at home, but my cousin who works for me, he literally lives down the road, so he's got a massive shed at the back of his house. We just work from there,
Right, okay.
you know, nothing fancy. And I do my video before I start my day. So my video that I release in the evening, I just do it at the start of my day. So that's always done in the morning. My YouTube stuff, I literally do one video a week. So I'm already like a month and a half, no, 5 weeks ahead. Every week, I make it mandatory that I have to do one YouTube video. So it's no editing, but it's like, you know, adding like the subscribe buttons and stuff like that. And that takes about an hour with the thumbnail as well. So I'll make sure that's done. So that's my non-negotiable for the week. And then now I've also got, so, you know, I told you I was doing live events. So I did the first time buyer event and that was a huge success. So I've already got the next 2 events planned. So I'm always like thinking ahead of what I need to do, because if I sit still, one thing I realize is I never used to take content, like releasing content, as important as what I do now. I treat it like a brand new mortgage case, like every day. So like for me, creating a video is like submitting a mortgage application, because if I stop, then what will happen is I won't be seen. And that's what the problem is with, I guess, with a lot of brokers, is when they stop, you just stop getting seen. So right now, like I go into a room, and this is the truth. Like everyone knows that Anish Patel is a mortgage broker. I'm not everyone's friend anymore. Like, I'm the mortgage broker guy. So everyone knows what I do just from my videos.
Right. Well, I think, like going back to what you said there about that's the roller coaster ride of being a mortgage broker. Because what happens is, the opposite of that is you'll create some content, do a few videos, you'll get a few leads and a few like things. So then you'll stop doing the videos because you're busy doing the leads and having the clients. So then you lose all you lose your like the sort of the views,
Momentum.
the followers, and the momentum and stuff like that. That drops off, and then you then don't have the leads and don't have the new clients. So then you pick that content back up again. You're just going through the roller coaster ride. Whereas you understand very clearly that you've got to be constantly delivering content. So even doesn't matter how busy you are, you've got into your daily routine your content, which is perfect, absolutely perfect, because then you know that it's going to happen every single day. You know it will happen because that's just you. Going to the gym will happen. Dropping your door off at like school and nursery will happen. Having a shower, doing all these things will happen. It's just habit forming, which you've clearly done over a period of time, and that's non-negotiable now. You will. How would you feel? Like, I'm not saying it would ever happen, but I'm sure that if it didn't, if whatever today you didn't shoot that video in the morning, that would bug you. Would it? Would you see? It bugged me. If that's my habit, it would bug you.
Craig, if I didn't shoot a video, I feel like the whole world's coming apart. Seriously, like I'm not even joking about this, right? Like I'm like I know going back to Ash, right? He knows what my mind's like. I'm mad. Like I come out. My best thinking is when I'm in the shower, right? It sounds really stupid, yeah. And like then I come out the shower and I'm like, shit. Like I'm thinking all these like things when I'm washing my hair. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. And then I have to like voice note Ash and go, Ash, you know, I want to do this. Like let's do this. Yeah? And he grounds me, right? But if you stop creating content, you're just doing yourself a disservice. Like even when I went to Tenerife on holiday, I created content every day. It's just a video. But the thing is, people get stuck on the editing videos and the raw videos. Like if they did raw videos, I'm sure everyone can sort of smash out a video a day. But when you're editing them, that's when it takes a lot longer, right? If I had to edit my videos, there's no way I could keep up with the volume of content that I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm. I know, but that's the thing is like but I think if people did want to edit them and had a desire to do a little bit of editing, the more that they do, the quicker they'll get editing anyway. And try, and I think
Yeah,
if they're okay with editing, think first of all, well, I'll just shoot them, I'll edit them, but then the pain of editing. If they just started shooting videos and edited them, they would eventually move where there's non-edited videos because then they think, you know what, I can't bother editing them.
Yeah.
They'll get super fast at editing them, and then they'll get to a point where like I don't need to edit them anymore. I'll just shoot them in one and get on with it, kind of thing. So, which is obviously clearly what you've done. Going back, like one thing I wanted to talk about, which was about the idea on the podcast was talking about the videos, which we've talked a lot about your brand, your content, how you do them, when you do them, and the gear and everything else. I think the one thing that I want also just to look at was just quickly was about your online events. So you've been brave in terms of online events. So is online events first time buyer event that you did recently, was that something you always wanted to do, or is that just something that's happened?
No, so the truth is, a good friend of mine, Thomas Honor, me and him did a podcast before, so I know him really well. And he did a first time buyer event, a face to face one, right?
Okay.
And because I'm not going to take credit for something I didn't think of, right? So I reached out to him and go, Tom, what do you think? Like, do you mind if I do this? But I want to, because my whole thing is creating an online brand. So I don't do face to face appointments because I just don't want to be honest. Like, it's enough going on coming in where I don't want to waste an hour going to someone's house. But obviously, everyone's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to create the online brand how I see the other big companies are creating. And then he was like, mate, just go ahead and do it. So obviously I didn't want to just do it and then look like I'm copying him in effect I was. But then I just did it. And yeah, like literally it took me about a month to get the presentation all sorted. But that was a hit, you know, within 3 weeks, honestly, it's 85 tickets. There were free tickets, but 85 sold, right? And 85 turned up. It was mad. Like I would have, if 20 people turned up, I would have been grateful. Like my presentation was only 45 minutes. The Q&A was 45 minutes. And the amount of like people who stayed on after, like, thank you, Anish, like you really helped me. And like the amount of messages I got, I was just like overwhelmed to me. So I couldn't believe it, you know. And the Q, you know, when it was a good presentation, when the Q&A was 45 minutes.
Absolutely, you know? Definitely. I think that's the thing, because I think people would put going back, stepping into a mortgage broker mindset with regards to something like that. You'd be that's being brave, thinking about I'm going to do a first time buyer event online. And like for me, if I was doing that, I'd have no problem doing it. My expectation would be nobody's going to just do it. No, if one person turns up, then happy days. If nobody turns up, it is what it is, and I'll do another one and do another one, because that's clear for you. I think you've got the same mindset, the persistent mindset, that if somebody did, if not, they wouldn't be like that. But if nobody turned up, you would still do the next event and the next event and stuff, because you know that works. So you're not doing it purely based on the fact that I've got 85 seats and I've got 85 tickets and I'm going to fill those seats. You're not doing it on that basis, because do you care is probably not the right word and the right phrase to say, but I would care, but I'm not doing it like for the followers. So then it's like a case of, you did care about how many people turned up, or did you thinking actually, do you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway?
I was scared, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's the first time I've ever done it, but I just know that, listen, no one starts at the top of the mountain, right? You've got to work your way up. Even if one person, like on my lives, for example, taking it way back, I sometimes like look in the corner, 2 people are watching me, and I'm like, you know, like you get distracted. Oh my God, but it is what it is. Like, I'm always scared. Like in January when I got my next one, so the next one, just like, it's like on self-employed income, because it's just like massive, you know, everyone doesn't understand anything. So I'm already preparing for that in January, and then I've already got the one in March I'm preparing for as well. But I'm always scared, you know, like it's a live event. What happens if no one turns up? What happens if no one likes it? You know, like I am human, but end of the day, you've got to do it, so then you can do it again, then you can do it again, because the goal is you do want to get loads of people turning up, and ideally you want to create, like, turn those people that turn up to each event, you want to turn them into like clients eventually as well, right? But you're building that trust up, and without me doing that, and without me showing that how consistent I am, just like, oh yeah, he's got another event, oh he's back again, he's got these videos, like the amount of business I win, going back a bit on it, is that clients call me up, when they have questions on like credit score stuff. I'm like, check out this video on my Instagram, check out this podcast, check out my YouTube video. And like, I win so many clients because I've just sent them a list of links, and they're like, oh my God, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's mad.
exactly. But that's easy for you. Like, it is, like, if you've answered all these questions that they've got, and then it's like when you look at your website in terms of the 7 steps and things like that, then it's a natural, like, I like process. So that makes it easier for me to go, right, okay, these are 7 steps to get mortgage ready. Well, that makes sense. It's like 7 steps. So for me, like, if you want to know, like, well, go and check out this is the 7 steps, and then you know where I am if you want sort of further advice, and then you're ready and stuff like that. So and that's what it's about. Like, you're taking people through the process and easily understandable. So, but going back to the online events, what you sort of said was you were scared, which is amazing, like that, because you're going to be like, that's, if you wasn't person, you would have, like, nobody's not going to do that and think, oh, I'm not scared about it. Of course you are. Like, everything you do, like, I've done Facebook live events and things like that, and presentations to like loads of people. You're always going to get scared, and you, like you say, I've done Facebook live events, and I've turned I've put the screen away, so I can't sort of see how many people are on there, how many people are connected. I just thought, I'm just talking to a little dot on the top of my screen, kind of thing. That's all I'm. Do you know what I mean? I don't. 100%. You try not to worry about anything else that's going on, but I think really to sort of share your honesty of, like, because the way that you like look at the videos and stuff like that, you can be shown to be having like loads of, like I say, you're a very confident person, you're a very confident individual. Well, no problem for you, Anish, to do a first-time buyer event, because you'll smash it. You're that confident. But actually, behind the scenes, you were scared. Absolutely, which is amazing. That's people should take stock in that, and really sort of look at themselves and think, actually, yeah, it would be natural to be. It's natural to be scared of doing something like that. But you've just done it. You've been brave enough to do it.
You should have seen me before the event. I was like, come on, let's go. Like I'm going in a boxing ring or something. Like, just geeing myself up. And the thing is, I saw, like what you were saying, you've seen the people joining, and I was like, 5 minutes to go, and I was like, oh my God, only 9 people have joined. I sold 85 tickets. What's going on? And then my cousin basically moved that, like you said, he moved it away, and then I just did it, and it just it went better than ever in terms of expectation. But you're right, when you see that away, you just become natural. And the one thing I didn't do, to be honest, is I don't rehearse a lot. I just find it like things just come to me. Like, if I'm not automated like a robot in terms of rehearsing, I'm better just speaking off the cusp, if that makes sense. And actually, the event, when I look back at it, went much better than all the recording. I tried recording it 3 times before, and I was like, you know what, I'm just done with this. And then on the day, it just went amazing. So let's see. Let's hope for the next one.
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure, like you say, you've focused on the answer. So, first-time buyer event, self-employed event. I'm sure you've got great content. Like every single quarter, you're doing an event, and people will get used to that and think, like you say, if you get that sharing, the brand's right, the content's right. So, no doubt, mate, it will be another sellout success, no doubt, and you're just going to build it from there. So, brilliant. Anish, is anything we've not talked about? Like, we've covered quite a lot there in terms of the videos and your events and who you are as a person and how you come across. Is anything else we've not talked about or missed?
You know what? I say one thing is, like, a lot of people say to me, oh, you're smashing it. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better than what I ever was. But Instagram versus reality is, like, as they say, it's a different story. Like, people don't see the grind that goes in the background. Like, the success is built on the grind, because without the grind, there's no success. So, like, it's not overnight, because there's so many people, like, I see just random people, like, who know me, and they're like, oh, you must be killing it. Killing it is like different, like, everyone thinks like what income. The truth is, income wise, I'm at the best place I've ever been in my life, and that's due to Ash, like, in terms of helping me create the brand that I love as of today, right? But Now I'm not even just focused on income, to be honest. I'm more focused on creating the online brand that I want. It's
Okay.
actually, if you ask Ash, like the difference between how I was when we first started to now, and I just want to create a business that I love. And right now, that's what I've got. Like, I've got the business. You look at my website; it's simple, one page. You look at my Instagram. To this, in my videos, I don't even do my hair. I did my hair for you today, Craig, just to be like,
I
to make sure I
appreciate
look,
that, mate.
just to look presentable. But I don't even do my hair. Like even in client meetings, I don't do my hair because it just looks like the same to this. But yeah, no, just people need to realize that there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. Like even what you're doing, everyone's doing these things. They don't see what's going on in the background. So if you want the leads, if you want, if you want to do something about it, you have to get off your ass and get it done.
Perfect. Thanks, Anish. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your honesty. Thank you very much for doing what you do and like helping in terms of, I think like you are shining light from a mortgage broker point of view in terms of the content creation you do, the relentlessness, the creation, and obviously like in terms of the education side of things, which is a massive thing for me too about is you're answering clients' questions and building your own brand. So Anish, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks for having me on.